Well, this was unexpected. Not only we got more evil decoy token support, but we also got the Spike Brothers stuff revealed today. So let's begin. But first, cards from the last few days. Our first card is Evil Stealth Dragon Kagesarashi. Grade 1, 8k power and skills. Act, rearguard, costs, retire this unit, go up to 2 evil decoy tokens to rearguard. And if your Vanguard is Hanzo, put a card from hand to soul, search your deck for one card with Hanzo in its card name and put it to your hand. This ability of this card's name can only be used once per turn. More token generating is of course nice, but also directly searches your Hanzo, aka you want the new one. But it's not for mid-battle superior riding, spoiler alert, but this card is a definite 4-off because of this. Next, Evil Stealth Dragon Yami Shibuki. Grade 2, 9k power and skills. Count rearguard during your turn. This unit gets plus 5k power for each of your grade 0 rearguards, aka evil decoy tokens. This is actually pretty nice, now that you don't need to rely on boosters because your evil decoy tokens are going to be blocking those slots. But it also has a second skill, Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When this card attacks, cost counterblast 1, return another rearguard to your hand, and call up to 2 evil decoy tokens to rearguard. Return to hand is always nice as you can always reuse on place abilities and also protect the card. That can also be used as shield value, and calling more evil decoy tokens in mid-battle is actually quite helpful. Especially now with the new Hanzo, there's actually a way to get extra attacks with it. But still, this is a definite 4-of as you don't really have other evil decoy token support, and this card's kinda solves some of the attack power problems, so a definite 4-of. And now to the Friday stream, we're going to start off with the Spike Brother cards, which our first card is Dudley William. Grade 1, 8k power and skills. Auto rearguard. At the end of the battle that this card boosts, cost, put this card into your soul, choose one of your units, and move all force markers into that unit's circle. So this card supports passing marker playstyle, which I liked in Spike Brothers by the way. Second skill, auto, when rolled upon, you may call this to rearguard. You mainly run this for the first skill, so 2 to 4 of these isn't bad. Next, Dudley Davy. Grade 2, 10k power and skills. Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When placed, cost counterblast 1, search your deck for one non-grade 2 Dudley, and call it to rearguard. Alright, not too bad. The only problem right now is that we don't have much Dudley cards for standard. But anyway, second skill. Auto rearguard once per turn. When a force marker was put onto this unit circle, including moving, soul charge 1. Not too hard, especially because moving markers is a thing for this deck, especially with the new grade 1. But right now, all I could only say about this card is that we lack Dudley targets, so there isn't really much for it right now. Finally, Demonic Lord Dudley Lucifer. Grade 3, Force, 13k power and its skills. Auto Rearguard. When placed by card ability, cost Soul Blast 1, Counter Charge 1. That of course isn't hard. Second skill, Auto Vanguard. When this card attacks, cost Counter Blast 1, put a rearguard to your soul, draw a card, choose a Dudley unit from your hand and call it to rearguard. And if your opponent's at grade 3, it gets plus 10k power. You have better multi-attack engines than this card. Sure, you could call Dudley Davy and then use Dudley Davy's skill to call another Lucifer, but that's all I could really see for it right now. We really lack Dudleys, and there are other Spike Brother archetypes that could perform much better than this, especially with the multi-attack aspect. I mean, sure, you could use this like a budget deck, but Spike Brothers is already pretty much a budget clan as it is, so I don't think you're going to really need to play this if you're trying to go for a budget. But hey, that's what I see so far, so unless they make more Dudley cards that work much better, I'm just gonna say this is not really good to play. Finally, to the main card itself, Evil Stealth Dragon Tasogare Hanzo. Grade 3, 12k power, protect, and its skills. Auto hand. At the beginning of your opponent's turn, if your Vanguard is Evil Stealth Dragon Katsuki Hanzo, cost, discard 2 cards from your hand, write this card as rest, and all your rearguards get plus 5k shield into the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, ride a Evil Stealth Dragon Katsuki Hanzo from your soul as rest. And this is what I mean when I said this is the type of card I wasn't expecting. Superior riding on your opponent's turn and giving your rearguard shield power, which of course will support the evil decoy tokens. But before I give my thoughts on this card, let's go on its second skill, Auto Soul. When your Vanguard with Hanzo in its card name attacks, cost retire grade 0, evil decoy token, call this to rearguard. And until the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 20k power and can attack from the back row. And at the end of that turn, put this card to soul. And if this card was put to soul, call an evil decoy token to rearguard. So basically the idea is you use its first skill to superior ride itself for your defensive plays, And at the end of the turn, you ride back Akatsuki Hanzo from your soul. And now since this card's in your soul, during your turn you use this for offensive plays. And because your grade 2 can call evil decoy tokens mid-battle, you can of course retire one of those evil decoy tokens to call this card for additional attack. Or the other way, where you can use the new grade 2 to bounce this card back to your hand so you can reuse the Superior Ride effect for your defensive plays. And it's also nice that this card can attack on back row, so if you have multiple copies of this in soul, which is very likely, well, more 32k beat sticks. Although the first skill kinda screams that you want to play Protect 2, even though there's really no protection for them, because your evil decoy tokens can intercept, and of course this card gives evil decoy tokens an extra 5k shield, which will be 10k. With Protect 2 it will be 20k each, and with the amount of token regeneration, along with even this card being able to call back an evil decoy token, I'll say this card is pretty decent. Now the only problem is that your evil decoy token deck will still be considered a going second type deck, as you want Akatsuki Hanzo as your main Vanguard. And next week we got Zeal. Hopefully we get the whole ride chain as well, along with the draining power of your opponent's Vanguard. So that's it for this reveal. What do you guys think about the new Spike Brothers and Nubatama? For Spike Brothers, it's pretty bad, and it definitely needs more support. For the Nubatama stuff, it's actually pretty interesting. The grade 1 is obviously nice that you can search for your main Hanzos, and of course it's token generating, so you have to run it. But the grade 2 for mid-battle token generating, and to combo with your of course new Akatsuki Hanzo with the decent attack numbers, that's pretty nice. And the new Akatsuki Hanzo itself is pretty interesting, and not what I expected, because it superior rides itself during your opponent's turn and playing defensive. And then having a second skill that plays offensive by cloning a different version of himself with an evil decoy token, and then dispensing the clone to replace it back with an evil decoy token. So overall, I actually find this playstyle very interesting. Now the only problem I still see against this deck is that if you play against control decks, well, you're kind of screwed, at least if you're trying to play the defensive aspect of it. But nonetheless, I do find it interesting. But other than that, have a nice day.